It's time for my rotator cuff tear update. Today it's been exactly 2 weeks since the accident. Last week when I first posted about my accident, I was in a lot of pain, but I was positive that I was going to be able to work my way through it, and I was actually a little upbeat because the first week of exercise I went from the day of the accident and 1 week later to feeling surprisingly well with very little range of motion. The thing about a rotator cuff that's confusing is they say the best thing for it is to take ibuprofen, ice it, and put it in a sling and do not move it around. They recommend rest, which is kind of confusing because they also tell you that if you don't move it and exercise it, you have to worry about it freezing or locking up. So you're kind of confused on how to do it, and my recommendation is take it easy and take it slow. The day after my snowboard accident, I had to go to work, and I worked one day and figured this wasn't going to work out well for me, so I took a week off, and I was feeling better, but I had to go back to work. And my initial plan was at work I would do my job and exercise during down moments and opportunities. I could do these small exercises. Well, I quickly found out that work alone was enough movement and exercise for me that I didn't do anything while I was at work or even at the end of the day when I got home, because my shoulder was really sore and really tired. To avoid too much activity and movement on my shoulder while I was at work, I learned I would rest myself, because I couldn't put it in a sling. I would rest my arm by putting my hands in my pocket, and I'd rest it that way every chance I got. And I also, when I was in the sitting position, I would rest in the sitting position by putting my elbow close to my body and just kind of let it slope down here and take the weight and the pressure off my shoulder, because I put in long days and it's a lot of weight and pressure. They really want you to minimize movement and really let it rest at the beginning, but I don't have that kind of life, so I just had to really concentrate on moving it as little as possible during my daily activities. My range of motion has improved, although I'm not really pushing the lifting of the arm too high, because that's where the real pain comes in, and pain means something's going on there and you just don't want to push it so hard. Basically, your scapula and your humerus come up together here with all these muscles, and you got your is right on top of it, and so everything's happening and converging right there. And it's a very small space, so when you lift your arm up, that space becomes smaller and smaller, and it pinches, can tear and aggravate things in there. So you want to try to avoid it. If it's too painful, there's still swelling, there's still tearing, there's still damage, so you want to be really careful about that.